That wasn't even a 2-minute break. You japed me. You scallywags. You japed me. Well, we're here with loser finals, the lower finals, grand finale of seeing who will make it to grands and who will be kicked out of the bracket. DblCookies versus Black Rose. My body is not happy right now. Just want to let you all know. Ooh, excellent. Dually Squelcher there. Positioning to be able to break into DblCookies' base. You see DblCookies thinking about whether or not it's worth defending or how to respond, because this could be an easy bait for Rose to be able to block off that top section, and that's exactly what he does. Double still has a really good play here, fitting in that splat lane. Filling up a nice hole that gets knocked out a little bit by the Squid Beacon. Both do get their specials out of it though. And the battle continues as it rolls forward. We get another splat lane set up. Just covering, filling in that center area so Black Rose doesn't have the opportunity to rush in and continue to keep this damage going. Rose is pretty safe. BlackRoseDragon is very, very safe here. Makes a good call. I like that special. Just on the basis that, like, now he has a really good place to be able to break into DblCookies' other side of the base. Good custom blaster. Just kind of, like, building special right now, getting up the resources to be able to make that break. I don't know if he has the tools to be able to go in for the charge, but DblCookies does. And he is looking to cause some carnage. Trying to find the perfect position. Wants to reach into both sides. That is the spot. He has reach for both ends. Actually, either end, so it's really about points. Does choose to just lean in a little bit more to the right. And is punished as Marina comes in. Snuffing out that flame. And DblCookies has now wasted a 3 special points on what is essentially nothing. Going for the slightly greedier play. And just, yeah, now he's lost a lot of his resources. Has the point disadvantage. BlackRoseDragon. Size of, like, notable point lead at this point. All things considered, like, DblCookies does have a lot of stage presence on that bottom left-hand side to be able to build up more special, build up more points. But Rose still has a lot of his own. And he has enough special that if DblCookies is doing something as passive as a Toxic Mist, it would not be hard for Rose just to pop a special and fill that up. Out comes the Forge. That is going to be another special. DblCookies really, really needs special to be able to build up at this time. He does have 3, but with a 3-point disadvantage and you only have 3 special, I don't know what DblCookies can do here, and he is just going to surrender. Throwing in the towel, just waving that flag, recognizing that BlackRoseDragon had him cooked. And that is going to be BlackRoseDragon from the Casual Card Club. Nice weekly event that happens in Tableturf Battle server. Every Friday, twice every Friday. Very regular, he's super consistent with it, always a good time, strongly recommend. And yeah, no, he's definitely right there. Always around, and I mean, that's a lot of the proof of his skill is he's one of the most consistent and steady players in the Tableturf scene these days. always running these events. People are always around to play around with him and join. And, like, a lot of players don't play too often anymore. So there is the caveat, the note of like, oh, some people get rusty. Not BlackRoseDragon. He's constantly playing. He knows what's up. He is not making these silly little misplays that you might see from others. And he is keeping it nice and fresh. Hello, Inkling Performance Lab. Thank you all so much for dropping by. We are heading over to, speaking of pedal to the metal, we've got a phenomenal stage here. Instead of starting with a single special block, you start with 6, and they are all so well designed for a single plate like that. Grants you 1 special, and now you can see this board is set for DblCookies to be able to build up so many more special points. That charger is so unfortunately positioned that DblCookies actually is not able to get the double special gain off of the splash mob there. That is a huge combo he's just not getting. Tries to stop the combo, but it's a little too late with the power clam. He can continue this onslaught though, as he does have the power clam positioned perfectly to be able to keep this chain going. But Black Rose can just be like, oh, you're just trying to shut me down now. I'm just going to keep building around it and get more special and punish you while I'm at it. The smaller the score on a card, the less space it covers, obviously. But there's also an interesting interaction where if your card is smaller, like this, just by 13 points versus 14 points, if your 2 cards clash, the smaller card overwrites. Which means that we get over situations like the last 2 moves, where Little Judd overwrote 1 card, and then Shiver got completely consumed by a Hydra. And despite DblCookies trying to shut down Black Rose's plays, not only has he lost several points, but look at the special on the board that BlackRoseDragon has. And now he's just free to drop the captain on him. We've got more pressure. Despite DblCookies having made that wall before with a charger, Rose is in a very clean position, and this is not responsive enough. It's not doing what Rose was doing. Yeah, he needs to put the Little Judd here. Otherwise, there's a very real chance that Black Rose just completely shuts down the field, and DblCookies would not be able to work off of it. Now he still has something. He has the Tri-Slosher Novo, needs to place it now to get those special points, because Rose might just take it otherwise. The bait is successful. DblCookies does get all of his specials though, as we're moving into the final 3 turns. Rose only has a 15-point lead. This Steel Eel is actually free, which is wild, but it's not actually gaining that many points. He's getting 7 points, taking away 3 from Rose. So it is a 10-point gain, so it's basically just being played default. Which is still ultimately a nice play. It does beat passing. It beats passing by and far. Final 2 turns, we have a huge play coming in. He is going to use his special to just completely overwrite a lot of Black Rose's space. Black Rose, I don't think he has any cards to properly contend this, and he needs his free special to play it through 12 at the end. So despite the aggressive plays getting punished by Black Rose mid-game, Black Rose is in the disadvantage. This is DblCookies' game. He just needs to be able to find a place that secures him a lot of points. And the Kraken probably will have somewhere that should be pretty nice. And then he just drops a 312. Or if he's able to get a special off of whichever move he makes, I think make that move, he can just drop the Kraken as his final move. Because he's just got so much special from building his stuff up. And his captain wasn't used as like a blind aggression. So now he can just drop this Kraken and just... That's just game right there. That is a 10-point lead for BlackRoseDragon. But because he has no special to play, unless he has something that can generate like 20 points off of this board, which, let's be honest, is not gonna happen. This is BlackRoseDragon's, or this is DblCookies' game to win. Out comes the crack on. And, yeah, and we got a little Octo Stamp. Love the guy. Give him head pats. We appreciate the Octo Stamp. Good bean. Not enough to win, though. And that is BlackRoseDragon losing to DblCookies, score 1 apiece. Which brings us just that little bit closer to see who is going to make it to Grand Finals. Once again, the top seed, Joven, the tournament winner to beat, who has won the vast majority of tournaments in Tableturf history, full stop, was eliminated just a couple rounds ago by DblCookies, who is currently facing off against BlackRoseDragon, which means that it is only DblCookies, BlackRoseDragon, and I'm sure a lot of you know him well. He's been in the competitive scene as well. Aaron is player 1. Aaron is P1. Fantastic player, fantastic person, and he is sitting in the advantage seat for Grand Finals. Heading into River Drift, this stage is an entertaining stage, to say the least. It's very easy to section off a chunk of the map, give yourself a lot of space to be able to play defensively. This is typically a very defensive map, as you can see with like the 2 opening plays we've got here. Megalodontia, aka Joe, just takes up so much space and is so difficult to try to work around. And then the Ursine Anomaly, just exact same thing. Like, he's a little easier to work around. As you see, there's a little bit of a 2 space there. But he chunks up so much space. And if you play something like the Steel Eel, it's done. It's over. You're not asserting, you're not pushing, you're not being able to do anything. That center field is locked in. All you can really do now is just, like, fill it in for a few extra points. And if you're clever and you have the right piece, like the Tentatek that you see in DblCookies' hand, that bottom left one, great brand, you can set yourself up for a special play down the road once you have all your special points farmed up enough and you've got a 312 or something else to be able to play. Now, you might be asking me, beautiful viewers who just dropped by recently and like loser finals of the an invitational for Tableturf. So we're gonna do a couple of introductory terms here just to make sure people are up to speed. Malieve, what does 312 mean? Now, we've got a beautiful example right here with the splatter screen. A 312 is a special card that costs 3 special points and it takes 12 spaces up. Now, what's special about a 312 and why they are singled out compared to typical cards? Do you see any orange on that splatter color screen? I don't. You can't get special off of that. So that's the big trade-off of them, is they have a lot of reach, they have a lot of power, there's a lot that you can turn the tide with them, but typically they're saved as special cards because they're usually used at the end because unless you use them right, they don't have that much impact early or mid game. They have their biggest impact late or end game. And we are going to see DblCookies going for something here, but even if he sets it up, you'll notice that, like, yeah, he's not going to get any special off of it. He can get special off of if he surrounds another piece with the card. But he's using this for big impact, a lot of big damage. Probably hoping that gets overwritten, so if BlackRoseDragon has a splatter screen, he's not going to get a free 24 points later. He might now, because that's just out. BlackRoseDragon, if he has the splatter color screen in his deck, he can actually just play it right over the one that was played. So, like, DblCookies made a that was definitely a desperation play, where he is trying to stay in the game, stay in the fight, keep this lead, but now Black Rose can also just, like, he's got 24 points that he can redeem whenever he wants. DblCookies has to pass here. He doesn't have any 3 special. He's got, like, 3 special cards, but you'll notice, like, the 312 versus the 3-7 right there. One is definitely better. Black Rose has enough special here. He's definitely going to make a pretty safe and confident play into a huge sea of yellow. Gain a lot of points, even the tides. And then as long as he has a splatter screen, he can place it right on top of that spot. And that's another 24 points. So if we're just considering the 24 points off of the splatter screen, you do the math. I can do it too. Technically, Black Rose is in the lead by a single point right now. And he's playing Pearl now. No longer a single point. That is now 25 points lead. Even if DblCookies had a 3-12 to play, he can't do anything. Because the most he could gain is 24 points. Oh, he's got an ink back instead. Unless he's just showing off. Unless he's trying to BM here. Oh, was that a perfect... I think that was a perfect ink back. So he didn't even need the screen. He didn't even need the screen. Black Rose is fine. He is one tough dragon. Managed to win with 14 points lead on turf controlled. Absolutely phenomenal. And that is going to put him one win away from advancing to grand finals. And it looks like our next stage, it might not be the last. It might be though. Depends on if DblCookie can bring things out. He was on his last legs against Traylina, another phenomenal player. Shout out to Traylina, who is in chat. We love her so much in the community. Fantastic person. But he was in a similar position against Traylina, where she was in such a massive lead. And then DblCookies just managed to clutch his way back and claim the victory. And that's how he is here now. But is it possible for him to do it again? He has to get 2 more victories, where Black Rose only needs the 1 win. Who are you cheering on, chat? I want to hear it in the comments as we move into game 4. Which reminds me, I do need to update the stage, because I am currently doing everything. And solo commentating. My throat is tired. Setting things up, we got the Takaroka, I believe that was. I love that piece. It has such good coverage. It combos well with a lot of other cards. And covers a lot of space. Duelist Dowsers right over there as well, just kind of making sure to try to section some area off. Not really working out too well. The Megalodontia, aka Joe. Fantastic at, like, in a situation like this. Like, look at that. If Black Rose doesn't play anything to contest this area right now, DblCookies immediately gets... It's not a huge amount of space, but it is space. That has been contested by a very, very unfortunately timed splatter shot, which DblCookies does have the points lead, but he's got 2 3-12s, which are the cards he's wanting to hold on to the end. Just lost it in a very unfortunate trade there, as the smaller card, Little Judd, once again won out. But typically you want to save those, but he doesn't have space to play whichever he wants, like the Marie. Where's that? No, that's the other one. What's her name? Oh no. Yeah, that is Marie. Callie's the other one. I'm being confused. I'm so out of touch with the scene. I feel awful. But he can't fit that. So he's just got the 2 3-12s. He has to play them, which is really unfortunate, especially when they're losing out in exchanges. Still has the Stamper, which is a the Ultra Stamp, which is still a really strong card. But he doesn't have the 2 3-12 combo, which is a huge point gain at the end anymore. But can still build up to like the 5-15. Maybe he's able to secure enough special to be able to drop a 3-12 after playing Mary. Splatana Wiper building up a little more special for BlackRoseDragon. Currently 10-point advantage for DblCookies with 2 special also in favor for DblCookies. Has a lot of advantage here. But this pass is going to cause 10 points to be, or 4 points to be lost out on. Does gain a special for passing, which is fortunate. But even then, you don't always want to do that. I think that's the only spot that can be played out. BlackRose chooses to pass here now, which means that the score kind of evens out. Tentatek shows up again. Absolute staple of competitive table turf. As you can see, there is a perfect little spot down in the bottom right that is going to guarantee 4 special. It's super flexible. You can actually use it aggressively to break into enemy bases because of how small and specific it is. Like, look at this board. Count with me how many Tentatek spots there is. There was the one that just got played. 2 in the middle, so that's 3. You can see kind of a spot up there. And then another one over on the side. So there's like... And that's just like scratching the surface. Like, Tentatek is such a flexible and effective card. There's another spot just at the bottom there, you can see, where you would get 1 special guaranteed off of Tentatek. Fun fact, for people who want to know this, it's one of his favorite things and why BlackRoseDragon is named BlackRoseDragon, aside from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference. He's tagged himself that because it's really hard to fit on the screen. Specifically because it's a big name. I love it. It's silly. 89 points in favor for DblCookies. Going to go in. I feel like I see a better spot just down where there's the reefs. The Inkstorm? I think that's the Inkstorm down there. That could have been a really spot to overwrite. But I think this is enough where he's pretty much locked into the win. So DblCookies is going to be able to cling on and bring the score to 2 apiece. Which means we've still got 1 more game before we head over to Grand Finals. Just waiting for them to kind of figure out what's going on for their next stage. But yeah, no, like, we are fast nearing our big final bout here. Quick moment to just kind of, like, sure, a few of the people who might be watching right now might be a little unfamiliar with who we are. Hi, my name is Maliv. I'm the primary streamer and commentator and entertainer for the Tableturf Battle server events. If there's a stream, 9 times out of 10, I am the one doing the broadcast and also doing the commentary. Hope you are all doing fantastic and well. Thank you all so much for your all of the follows that have been recently provided by the Inkling Performance Lab raid. I'm just trying to... If somebody in chat has the link to the Tableturf Battle server, that would be greatly appreciated because I'm trying to find it and I am having difficulty. Yes, that is the word. Oh yeah, it should be right here. If anybody would be interested in checking out the Tableturf Battle server, you're more than welcome to do so by following this link. Like I said before, BlackRoseDragon does host the Casual Card Club every Friday. 2 events to be more accessible to EU and NA individuals to just casually play table turf. And we do run table turf competitive events every once in a while otherwise, such as the Baby Jelly Cup, which is a tournament that is meant to be very... You can't enter the Baby Jelly Cup if you've won a tournament. That's the rule. So if you've won a Baby Jelly Cup, if you've won TBO, if you've won the Diamond Bracket somehow and haven't won either of those, All of those make you ineligible to compete in the Baby Jelly Cup, so it makes it a lot more accessible for all people who sign up. It's the noob-friendly event. It's great, it's fun, we have a lot of enjoyment out of it. And then if you play high enough, you might get interviewed. We also do have the Tableturf Battle Open that happens. But yeah, there's events that happen every once in a while. It's good times. Channel Battle 2, perfect. There, you can find it there. But enough plugging. We do have the final game of DblCookies facing off against BlackRoseDragon. We're heading to Double Gemini. This is... If you think Tableturf is weird, this is the weird of weird. It is so angular, it's so cornery, that this is the one stage in the entire game where you do not have... If you make a deck, you're making a deck for this place. Ooh, that was a... What a read from Black Rose there. Because of the, like, you can see with Squid Force, you saw a bit with Steel Eel, you see it with Quahog. There's a lot of cards here that are pretty self-sustaining and that they're designed to fit into those corners, those pockets, and just get easy special generation. Because the way you generate special is to have the special block completely surrounded, and that includes the Void. I think that was a misplay. Because that part typically wants to be in the corner to grant another special. Unless DblCookies is cooking something that I'm unfamiliar with. Maybe he's going for a 10-to-tech comp with it. Nope, he's not. I don't know. I'm pretty confident that was a misplay. Because he's not going to be able to surround that block now, and he's not going to be able to get special. I feel like, does the steel head actually fit in that spot? 2. There's 1, 2. No, it would have just barely not fit in there. Okay. But yeah, that is an awkward placement of that Squid Force. But yeah, so name of the game on this stage specifically is all these pieces are designed in a way where they can kind of really easily corner themselves on the walls of the map. And so a lot of time it happens to be like that, where you got our little chump friend there, I forget, Small Fry, who's able to just kind of put himself in place and guarantee a free special without trying. I don't know what DblCookies is cooking here, but he is cooking something weird, because that is another play that I'm questioning. It wasn't really needed to do this, and we've got the 2 spots to the left, so that's another special that he's not earning. This is also a very early triple splashdown. You don't want to play your specials too early, typically. Because what happens then? Oh, he was going for the auto bomb. Even then, it would have been fine to just go in the corner. I'm nitpicking here. But if you drop your specials too early, there's the problem that it's easy for the opposing player to just steal that spot back. So you kind of have to be a little patient. You're waiting for the right moment. Usually most players don't want to use their specials until the last 2 turns. Ooh, oh, that's not going to be good. That does not grant him the 3 special. If DblCookies wants to make a play this turn, he might be passing, or he'll be playing... Okay, he's playing 10-to-tech, so he'll get 2 points. But that also means that Black Rose, if he sees the splatter screen, and DblCookies doesn't set it up in a way where it's safe, he can just overwrite it and claim 24 points. Especially since Black Rose is probably passing this turn. Goes for the paintbrush. Gets 1 special off of this. Which doesn't... He's lost. He has nothing he can do here. Unfortunately, he was just in a really tricky spot. Couldn't really see a way to find a light to the end of the tunnel. And unfortunately for DblCookies, we're just gonna watch him squirm for a little bit. But this game is over. BlackRoseDragon is gonna drop a nice tasty Tacticooler, drinking up this victory as he will be moving on to Grand Finals. DblCookies will be locked into 3rd place as he is now removed from the tournament. And I need to do this quickly as the screen's gonna look bad. I apologize for that. I'm